this is Pranay Prakash. Welcome to the guitar lesson for the song Zinda Bhaag Milkha Bhaag. The song has been composed by Shankar Ehsan and Loy. The guitar has been played by Ehsan Nurani. The song is quite unusual. It uses a drop D tuning rather than using the conventional standard tuning, and uses techniques like legato and palm muting. So you need to be familiar with these techniques if you wish to play this song. Quite a good song, uses a bit of funkiness in the beginning and then progresses very well. So let's check the song quickly. Tune your low E string to D, that would, and rest the same as the standard tuning, that would make the drop D tuning. I repeat, the low E string is tuned to D, so it's something like this, and the rest same. So this is the drop D tuning. So what is the benefit of using a drop D tuning? It's that you can play the power chords very easily. You don't have to scramble for power chords here and there. Like suppose this is the E5 power chord, then to C5 power chord. So you can have the same pattern for each power chord. You just need to stick your fingers on one fret. That makes the D tuning very popular. This is the E5 power chord on the second fret. So okay, then you move to F, and if you ring the first two strings, then the D5 power chord, the root note D and the fifth note of the scale. So if you're not familiar with the power chords, all I can say, they are very easy. They only have two notes, unlike other chords, the root note and the fifth note. So we don't have any minor or major for power chords, since the fifth note of the major and minor scale are the same. Okay, the first technique that we use in this song, Zinda, is the technique of palm muting. Since if you play the notes in the distorted tune, or the tone, sorry, then you would find that the notes get spread very wide, and you need to keep a check on them. That's why we mute the ringing of the strings. So this is not the case with if you're playing with the chorus effect or something, any different effect. But if I don't mute with a distortion, so it's something like, and you can very clearly hear this, all the strings ringing all together. So you need to mute. So how to mute? The question comes. Then keep your palm, this is your palm, on the bridge, near the bridge, very close to the bridge, rather on the bridge itself, and with your palm, your hands on the bridge, I hope it's visible, and then with your palm clang on to the first, you can say this is the humbucker pickup, you can climb onto that, and then you can control your mute, descend down or even move upwards if you wish to. For example, this was with muting effect. You can see I am using the flesh on my thumb to mostly, not exactly, but mostly to mute the strings. If I would have played it without mute, it would be something like very wishy and washy. So you don't want to do this every time. So palm muting is very essential in this song. And the second technique that we use in this song, which is very dominant, is the legato technique. Now let's check what actually legato means. Legato means that you're striking a string once, and you're not striking it twice, third, or sequentially like you would have done previously to play different notes. Suppose like this, if you're using a chorus effect, say this would have been played using the chorus effect in this manner. So same thing if I wish to do for legato. So what I did, I strike the 5th fret of the D string once and then hammer on to the next fret and the 3rd fret again, and then again I shift my finger to the G string 5th fret, strike it just once, not twice, not thrice. You don't need to do alternate picking for this. And then you can see there's a sequential hammer on. You can pull off as well. But then you need to keep your palms ready to mute in muting positions, so that if you strike this, you may not create some other sound due to noise. So I'm muting this string actually and this string with my fingers. So I don't deal with so I don't have to deal with these two strings. So this makes the legato technique work. If you look at my right finger, my right hand, I strike it once, then if both are visible, let's see. Okay, so this was a brief introduction to legato technique. So you would be using this in the solo part. Now let's have a look at the power chords used in the song. Okay, now let's look at the power chords used in the song. So first power chord is E5. You start with E5. These two strings of the 2nd fret. Just make sure this is 2nd fret if you are. Okay. So this is 2nd fret, and these two strings constitute the E5 power chord. As I had mentioned that only power chords use 2 notes. They don't have any 3rd note. So goes same for minor and major. So this is E5 power chord. Put your index finger. Better to use your index finger. Rest muted. Produce this scratching sound. I'll show you how to do this. And the next chord you use is the F sharp power chord, 4th fret, and the same thing on 5th fret. That makes the G5 power chord. So E, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, and D power chord. Just ring the 6th and the 5th string open. That makes the D5 chord in the open D, and then the drop D tuning. Okay. So I hope it's clear. So what you do and sorry, I forgot to mention a few more chords. So apart from the G5, the F sharp 5 and the E5, you are also using one more power chord, and that is A sharp 5. So 5th fret was G, this would have been A, and this is A sharp, the 7th fret. Okay. So you go from 4 to 5 to 7 and then open, and previously you had done from 2 to 3, 2 to 4 to 5, then open 2 to 4 to 5, and then 4, 5, 7. So these are the chords, and these were the power chords. So if you're using, if you want to use, apart from these, the chords which you are going to use with the chorus effect, of course, is E minor, first one, open E minor, open A minor, open C major, open D major, and open G major. One way of playing G major. I try to keep the high E string open. That makes G major sound a bit different and smooth. You can do this as well. That was my way of doing G major. So, and D sus4 as well at few places, D sus2 as well. Actually, you would be using D sus2 in the intro part. So let's check the intro first, and then we'll be moving to the chord sequence of the song. Okay, now let's have a look at the start of the song. It's something like this. Start from the 12th fret. Okay, so your index finger onto the 9th fret, barring the last 3 strings, rather first, second and third string. This makes a triad. Then keep your pinky onto the 12th fret of, I hope it's visible, 12th fret of the B string and the high E string. So your pinky on B and high E, and your index finger barring the 3 strings G, B and E on the 9th fret. This makes the E5 chord, E5 triad rather. So this is the E5 triad. So what you are doing here is, you start from E5, then just shift to the 11th fret with your index finger in the same position, and then again shift it back towards 10th fret, keeping your index finger constant. So I haven't moved my index finger. Again back to the 11th fret. So this is what you are going to play, and the strumming is important now. So let's have a look at the strumming for this. So what you're doing, I'm slowing it down. The triad, you're playing the triad, mute the rest strings. So you need to mute the strings. So I'm using my palm to mute. You can use whatever you feel like. So if you don't mute, it would be something like this. It would won't sound good. So then end up on that same where we started. Okay, so and you start with Zinda. Now you start with the song. So you start with E5 power chord, as said. So the song is on the key of E minor. So you start with the root note E, and you can solo it in the same scale as well. Has the chord progression E, C, G, D throughout the song. If you accompany the song, but if you play the power chords, it's a bit different thing. So let's have a look. Zinda What you're doing actually here is, so if you observe my right hand, it's rather my left hand first. It's muting the strings. I'm holding the strings first, so I'm not pressing it. Okay. So you move from E to F sharp to G5 and then D5. So E, F sharp, G, open D, all fifth chords. The strumming here is important since you're moving from E5 to F sharp 5 and then G. The transition should be smooth and you should maintain the rhythm of the song. So E5, F5. So if I use clean sound, it would be something like this. So this is once that you do this transition of chords. The next sequence of chord that you use mostly in the song, that you would be doing alternately with this transition, is something like this. So what you're doing here is, rather than doing this, you're starting from F sharp to G5 to A sharp 5, So you see there are two ways of muting, first with your fingers itself and then the palm mute, which is very helpful if you're playing with the strum pen for the song. Since you move mostly in power chords, so it's slowly, if you observe, something like this. Down, 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 up, up, down, down, up. Throughout the song, and this was entirely a different strumming pattern. Have a look at the solo of the song. In the solo you're using the legato technique which I mentioned, that increases the speed, and you can shred as well. You don't have to pluck quickly, that removes the strain of your arms, right arm. So legato is very helpful if you want to play really fast in rock guitaring. So that's one area in which you can improve. Every one of us can improve in that area, so it's a very vast field. Now let's have a look at the solo. You start with E5 chord. While playing the chords, I always prefer the rhythm pickup. This is the rhythm pickup. Always use this while playing the chords if you are accompanying. And for solo, the humbucker or whatever you have close to the bridge, that would be the best. Now let's see. It depends. Sometimes we also use the rhythm pickup for soloing. Okay, now you start with the 10th fret A string. This is the 10th fret A string, and then you move to the 7th fret of the D string. So actually this is E minor natural scale. Okay, so we start with 10th fret A string, then 7th fret D string. As I said, you would be using legato, so you pluck it once, the D string, hammer on to the 9th fret, and then hammer on to the 10th fret with your pinky. Extending this, you do my right hand. So you start with this on the 10th fret, then 10 to 7 of D, then back to the 7th fret of A string. And the next time you end up on the 9th fret of G string. This is the 9th fret of the G string. This completes the whole part. So you see the palm mute is very essential. If you don't mute the strings, it would be very widespread, and you won't be able to hear any particular note. So the more you mute, and the less you will get the noise, but don't mute it too much, or else you would lose noise, lose the sound which you wish to get, and that would be stupid. Now let's check the next part, the ending part. This part is a bit tricky. uses purely legato. You hammer on from the 5th fret of the D string to the 7th. So this is pure legato. I hit once, so keep in mind that for each string you hit once, not twice. Pluck the string once. Then do the same. Twice you do this, and then 5/7 to 9th, then to G string 7th, and then to 9th of G string. This is my improvised version. What you can do, which sounds pretty close to the actual one. Let me slow it down. So rather than doing this, what you do is, rather than doing this, you're doing using the legato for this 7th fret, 7, 8, 9, then 7, 8, 9, and then to the 9th of the G. So I prefer this one. Slide from 7 to 9, then 7 to 9 of the G. This is what was played. This was the alternate way. Which way you feel like you can play. So now let's move to the song. I'll play with the song, and then you'll see what are the chords and how they are used in places. And one more thing before playing with the song, there's an area where there's a harmonic at the end. This is nothing but a B harmonic you hear at the end. You hear it on the 12th fret, B string harmonic. Just touch and lift off. There you hear a harmonic, B harmonic.